Do I want my husband back? If you ask yourself, do I want my husband back? And the answer is yes, then you're one of millions of women who have been through a breakup and decided that they didn't want to go through with it after all. Maybe you didn't want it from the start, or maybe you did and now you've changed your mind. Do I want my husband back? Is one of those questions that make you consider a great many things. A lot of it has to do with isolation and loneliness. That's not to say that you only think about taking your husband back because you're lonely. Not true. But the loneliness that often comes after a breakup or a divorce can be quite a shot for anyone. Do I want my husband back? Often arises out of the uncomfortable shock of finally being alone. You should never take your husband back because of fear or boredom. A common fear is the fear of being alone and having faced life's difficulties alone. But the fear of being alone isn't a good enough reason to decide you want to get back together with your husband. If you stay together out of fear, the relationship can't possibly grow naturally. Doesn't he deserve to be with someone who genuinely wants to be with him? Not someone who stays because she believes there's no choice and they have to stay together. You both deserve a better and more fulfilling relationship than one of obligation like that. Two people should be together because they want to be together, not for any other reasons. So if you ask, do I want my husband back? And the answer is yes, you really do, not just because you feel it's expected that you be married, then you should try to get him. There are a few different ways you can head for this goal. Be the woman you were when you got married. Of course, it's impossible to go back in time completely. But all you have to do is essentially be the same person in some of your more pleasant actions. When you first got together there was something about you that attracted him. Whether it was that you were sweet, thoughtful or attentive depends on the person's perception. Maybe over the last several years of the marriage, you haven't been nearly as attentive as you could be. You should at least be happy that he would never have noticed the drop in affection, if you hadn't been so good at lavishing it on him in the first place. But once he's had that great attention, it becomes obvious when it's gone. And it's easy for it to disappear after a while. We have a terrible tendency to take the people we love for granted all the time. Often that's one of the factors leading up to a breakup or divorce. If you ask yourself, do I want my husband back? And you do, make an effort to not take him for granted anymore. To learn exactly what to do and what to say, to get your ex-lover back in your arms, click the blue link in the video description box. Or type this URL in the address box of your browser. shortway2.com/xback. Learn exactly how to stop your breakup, divorce or lover's rejection. Even if your situation seems hopeless,